Welcome to the Practical Growth Podcast with me, E.B. Johnson, author, NLPMP, and cognitive reappraisal coach. This is the podcast created for people like you, people looking for more health, more peace, more happiness. Each week, I explore a new topic in pop psychology and help you build a better life and better relationships. Join me for special guests, exciting ideas, and practical advice that you can use to improve your life from the inside out. Let's get into it. Hello, my lovelies. Back again with another great episode of the Practical Growth Podcast. It is me, EB, your favorite podcast host, your favorite NLP coach and cognitive reappraisal specialist, your favorite TikTok personality, your favorite Medium writer, your favorite jack of every trade that there ever was, and master of a couple of them. It's me. Here we are. We've got another episode for you today. Well, I've got another episode for you, I should say. And I think it's going to be super helpful, especially now, right? Because it's kind of that time of the year. There's a lot of emotion building. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. If you run your own business, this is an especially crazy time of the year. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of uncertainty, okay? Everyone's got a lot of balls in the air, juggling a lot of things, and it is hard to function, right? It is so hard to function, especially in that uncertainty. The reality is life is uncertainty, right? Navigating life, there is no really planning for everything. There is no seeing the future. There is no guarantee of what's to come. Yet we still have to move ahead with confidence. And that is one of the scariest things. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. How can you navigate the uncertainties of life and do it with confidence, no matter what's coming, no matter what failures might lurk around the corner, what successes you're not guaranteed? How do you just blaze into that with confidence and make things happen for yourself? We're going to be talking a lot of practical steps. I also have some nice, juicy firsthand stories from some of my clients just for you guys to prove that it can happen. You can make it happen. You can dive off the cliff with confidence and faith in yourself, and you can make a bright, positive future, a better relationship, a beautiful family, whatever it is, you can make it happen for yourself, no matter how uncertain the future might look. So are you ready for some practical growth? Well, then buckle up and let's dive in, and make sure you stay tuned until the end of the episode, because I have some new juicy goodness and some news for you about the upcoming Black Friday and some special offers that I have just for you. This is going to be a big topic for a lot of you today, so we're just going to jump right into it. Let's just not beat around the bush. Let's just go ahead and call it what it is. For you to navigate uncertainty, life's uncertainties with confidence, you essentially have to embrace change and build resilience. And none of that can happen without a growth mindset. But what is that? You guys, I know you've all heard that term 1,000 times. Growth mindset, growth mindset, growth mindset. You got to have a growth mindset. And probably you've never really had an expounded definition of that. So we're going to talk about that now. What a growth mindset actually is, because it's not just positivity, right? It's not just looking at the future and being like, everything's going to work out in my favor and everything is good, because that's delusional. Okay. And that doesn't help you to navigate the ups and the downs. So what is a growth mindset? Well, growth mindset is a term coined originally by Dr. Carol Dweck. Okay. Dr. Carol Dweck. And she works at Stanford University. She's brilliant, well respected. And she was the first person to create this kind of structured theory around what a growth mindset is. And essentially the growth mindset is this: someone with a growth mindset has a stubbornness to succeed. It has nothing to do with delusional, irrational positivity. It is someone who says, I know what it's going to take for me to be happy, for me to be healthy, for me to be fulfilled and well-adjusted. And so no matter what happens, I'm going to keep going and I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to make that happen for myself. Okay, that is what a growth mindset is. People with a growth mindset, they see opportunity where people see failures, right? When a door gets slammed in their face, they go, okay, that wasn't the right door. Where's the next door? They don't see a door slammed in their face and go, oh, well, I guess I'm just going to move on and do something completely different now that I've never thought about before, that I'm not really comfortable with, but I got to give up on this because failure doesn't exist to these people, or at least not in the way that you understand it. Because most of us, right, we think of failure as you got it wrong, you're out. But that's not really what failure is. Failure is just, this gate doesn't work. This door doesn't work. Where is the window? Okay. That's ultimately what failure is. And the brightest people, the most successful people, the most resilient people, that's how they operate. And that is what the growth mindset essentially is. I really love this quote from Einstein. There's a quote from Albert Einstein, which is so simple, and yet it completely encapsulates the growth mindset. And that quote is this. He said, "I'm not smart. I just stay with my problems longer." And that encompasses the growth mindset there, that resilience that you need, that ability to just face whatever is coming in your life, no matter what uncertainty you might be standing in the midst of now, right? I'm not smart. I just stay with my problems. He didn't give up, right? If you think the theory of relativity was something that he just popped into his head one day and he just like ran to the board and did it. No, there was a lot of trial, a lot of error, a lot of experimentation, a lot of recalculation, reconfiguration for him to reach that point. The growth mindset is the core of everything positive, everything good, every success that you see around you in your life and the lives of other people. And, you know, I get so many of you, whether it's on TikTok or it's on Medium or, you know, wherever on Instagram, in my messages, I get so many of you say like, oh, I'm so much respect for what you've done, how you've come from what you've come from and the childhood that you have. And you've kept going. You've kept trying to build something positive for yourself. You haven't just like given up, thrown in the towel, you know, succumbed to the pattern. And I'm sorry, but if you're someone who've said one of those things to me, that's the growth mindset. My whole storyline that you guys have followed for all these years, that is growth mindset in action. There's 1,000,001 times. I mean, my entire childhood, I should have just given up, right? I should have just, you know, checked out, become a meth head with a bunch of kids. But that's not what I did. I refused to do that over and over and over again. No matter how bad things got, I just kept going. I put one foot in front of the other and thought, well, that didn't work out. This is pretty bad, but I have to keep going forward. I have to still get to that ending. That is the growth mindset. It is that stubbornness in action. It was the same with Einstein. He in no way had toxic positivity. He didn't have rose-colored glasses on. He was very aware of what the world was, and he persisted in what he knew was right for him anyway, and it led him right down the path he needed to be on. And the same applies to you. If you want to be able to stand confidently in yourself, in your life, no matter what upheaval's going on, no matter what crazy, losing your job, losing money, whatever it is, if you want to have the confidence, which you have to navigate effectively, to navigate in your best interests, then it has to be rooted in that stubbornness, in that growth mindset, in that kind of perspective of no matter what happens, I'm gonna make it happen for me. At this point, I know I can almost hear it. I can almost hear the grumbles. I can hear people thinking, well, EB, that's you. I don't have that. I'm not that strong. I don't know how to regulate my emotions. I just feel like I'm completely dysregulated. I'm a total mess inside. My brain is foggy. I don't know who I am or what I want. So how am I going to navigate life with any kind of confidence? Because I don't know what's coming day to day in myself, in the world, in the people around me. It can't happen for me. I hear it. I see you. I understand it. So let's be realistic, right? Let's talk practical strategies. What can you practically do to create this mental and emotional resilience, to cultivate this growth mindset, and to be able to stand in yourself amid total uncertainty? What can you do? You know, I never leave you without practical strategies. I'm not going to just open the wound and leave you hanging there. So I've got some steps here for you. Now's the time. Pull out that notepad, pull out that pen and paper, because we're going to talk about it. These are 4 strategies that I want you to use to create that growth mindset in yourself, to create the confidence, right? The bravery, whatever you want to call it, to just throw yourself off the cliff into the arms of what you know is the right path for yourself. Let's talk about it. Number 1, change your mindset. Now, this is a big one. This is a really, really big one. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take you a lot of time. And my clients will tell you this is one that we spend about a good 2 or 3 weeks working on. You've got to change your entire mindset about life, about failure, about success, about what comes next. First of all, you can't predict it. There's a part of you that thinks if I can predict what comes next, I can control the outcome and then I will be safe. It's completely delusional. That doesn't exist. It's a fantasy story, right? There's no predicting life. But second of all, what keeps so many of you from embracing your own confidence amidst change is the fear, right? You've got these dysregulated nervous systems that are going off. Your limbic system is completely out of whack. You've got your autonomic nervous system going, and like sending cortisol signals all over your body. You are convinced that the uncertainty is going to kill you. It's unknown, so it's dangerous, so it's going to kill me. That's what these primitive little systems, these primitive parts of your nervous system in and out of your brain are thinking, right? This is ultimately what the signals they're sending. Death, death, death. This is going to kill you because you don't know what's coming around the corner, so it's definitely going to be death. That has to be a mindset shift for you, okay? Because the reality is that 99.9% of the things that you are anxious about right now in this second, with the exception of extremes, some of you are here with extremes, extreme partners, extreme situations, but for the majority of you listening, for the majority of the issues and problems that you have, 99.9% of them are not going to kill you. They will absolutely be uncomfortable. They will absolutely be unpleasant. They might last longer than you like. They might cause you a lot of stress and the cortisol might rise in your body. But as far as actual physical safety goes, you're not actually going to come to any physical harm. It's all these nasty chemical reactions, a dysregulated nervous system that's telling you death. This is the end. It's going to destroy everything. In reality, most of the things that we get upset about don't change the day-to-day operations of our life. You might be freaking out because you don't have the money to pay your house note. But when you come home at the end of the day, no matter where that is, you still have to feed your children. You still have to figure out how you're going to get up and go to work the next day. Do you see what I'm saying? These things are big and they are scary and they cause a lot of upheaval and stress. But the thing is, physically, we move through them and we come out on the other side without the damage that we think. So that has to be the first thing. Big mindset shift. This will not kill me. That needs to become a mantra. This isn't going to kill me. I can do this. This isn't going to kill me. I can do this. This isn't going to kill me. I can do this before you leap into the arms of uncertainty. Number two, these strategies for confidence in the face of change and uncertainty. Build your freaking skills. Build your freaking skills. Why do you think I am able to just kind of blunder into things? Building a coaching program, building a writing business for myself, getting on TikTok and creating a community. Do you think that I was able to do those things with total confidence that I was just born with? Absolutely not. I built skills. And I worked on them and then I doubled down and I worked more on them and I took criticism and I took feedback and I built so that I could go into these things going, you know what? I don't know how this is going to turn out. People might love me. People might hate me. But one thing I know is I'm going to do it well because I've taught myself to do it well. And I have put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours into training, into courses, into my writing, into finding my voice, into finding my message, into finding my audience, into finding out what they need, what they want. Build your skills. The more skills you have, and I'm not just talking like writing and being able to like hammer nails, right? These skills include emotional regulation, being able to communicate in conflict, all those skills that you probably didn't get taught as a child, which have led to a lot of conflict in your life. Executive function. The more skills that you feel confident in, the more confident you will feel going into the uncertainty of life, because you will look at uncertain situations and you will go, right, I don't know how this is going to go, but I know one thing. I know how to talk through it. I know how to carry myself in a way I don't regret. And I know how to act in alignment with myself, right? So build skills if you want to be able to navigate change no matter what it is in your life. Number 3 is a lot more practical. And this is something that I want you to take away, and I want you to start doing it every single day. Well, that's not true. You can take a day off, right? I don't like people to burn themselves out. but it's something that you should try to do every single day in the smallest way possible. And it is this: start building positive reinforcement around your discomfort and the kind of fear that you have or the uncertainty in the change. What do I mean? I mean, you need to get into a habit of showing your brain and your nervous system that these uncertain situations, these changes, even when they're not in your favor, even when they're bad, are okay. And one way you can do that is by positively reinforcing the situation, giving yourself a positive reward, positive feedback for getting through the stress of uncertainty. How would you do this? For one client, it was a matter of just sending her to a different coffee shop that she had never been to before. Okay, that was the first step. She had a routine in which she liked to just stay in the same places, the same people. That made her feel safe, but she was also feeling a bit antsy in that. She wanted to expand. She wanted to be able to be more confident so that she could go out and do more things and have more opportunities. So we had to get her used to change, that fear of something different, and that her body and her mind were convinced that it was dangerous. So go to a different coffee shop. It was a big thing. It was very stress-inducing for her. It was very anxiety-inducing, but it was small and it was safe. It was right next to the coffee shop she normally went to anyway. She had a friend with her, all of those good things. She went to the coffee shop, got the coffee, went right out the door, went right back into her normal area, her normal routine. Wonderful. You know what she got to do that night? She got to order one of her childhood dream toys for herself. And it was a huge step. She felt so proud of herself, and it was very much a reward, very, very valued. And this was a pattern she did. Now, she didn't always go and buy herself a big dollhouse, right? Sometimes it was like going to get the sneaky little chocolate bar she wouldn't normally get or whatever it is. But slowly, she went out and did these things that she was uncertain of, this change of her routine, and nothing bad happened to her. So her confidence got built. And then on the backside of that, she was celebrating herself for doing the work. She was rewarding herself for navigating that uncertainty. And little by little, she started to understand even at a subconscious level, it's okay. I can do this. And I will find some way to comfort myself on the other side, and it's going to be okay. So you need to create some kind of positive reinforcement. Go out into the world, put yourself in little situations of uncertainty, not danger, right? Just a little change in your routine. Maybe drive a different way, try a different coffee shop, go with your friend to a different store, or, maybe a different place than where you normally hang out. Little things that you can't predict, and then reward yourself for it. And it doesn't have to be big. It can be teeny tiny little things, especially if you fail, you get something wrong, you take a different path, you get a flat tire. That's super stressful, but you did it. You'll get through it. You'll recover from it. Reward yourself on the other side. Last but not least, this fourth strategy that you need to adopt is stubbornness. You need to become a stubborn person. You need to value that stubbornness of self more than pleasing the people around you or looking good in front of others or achieving what you think you're supposed to achieve. You need to become stubborn. Remember that Einstein quote, "I'm not smart, I stay with my problems longer." You need to see your ultimate needs, that ideal life, as the problem that needs to be solved, right? That ideal vision that you have of who you want to be, the life you want to have, the career you want to have, the family, the relationship, whatever it is, that is the solution. You've got to figure out the quotient that equals that, right? That's the problem that you have to solve, that you have to fix, and you can't stop until it's solved. Because if you do, you will be unhappy. You will be unfulfilled. You will end up with the wrong people in the wrong places and the wrong experiences. So get stubborn if you want to be able to navigate uncertainty with confidence, if you want to be bold and brave in the life that you're creating. Now, before we go on and share some stories, some client stories and some stories from my friends that I thought would be really, really, really powerful for you, I want to quickly run through some mindfulness strategies, because here's the reality, and you may not like it, but it is reality. Mindfulness is a key part of this journey, right? We've got those other practical strategies which kind of help your nervous system and yada, yada, yada. But mindfulness, centering yourself, getting in touch, getting in alignment, that is so, so, so important. And it's mostly important because it helps you be present. And that's the big thing. Most of you struggle navigating change because you're so busy worrying about the past and how it affects this change, and the future and how the change is going to affect that, right? You spend so much time in the past and the future. You're not in the present moment, which is where the change is happening, which is where you do that navigating. And that causes more anxiety. That is scientifically established. You can go and Google the studies if you like. The more you think / worry about the future or the past, the higher your anxiety levels get, the higher your cortisol levels get. It becomes harder for you to think, yada, yada, yada. So mindfulness has to be a part of you learning to embrace change. Okay. It has to be. And this is how you're going to do it. This is how you're going to learn to be present in these moments when you feel like the uncertainty has you stressed. Number one, somatic exercises. Somatics. A lot of them are breathing exercises, but basically we need to get your somatic nervous system online so that we can lower cortisol levels and get more of the feel-good chemicals in your body so that you can think clearer and navigate these challenges, this uncertainty, this change, transformation with more confidence, with more ease, with more clarity. So that's number one, somatic exercises. Number two, a body scan. I love a body scan. And this is because mindfulness, a lot of mindfulness is like meditation and yada, 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 right? Body scans are great because body scans, you essentially need to lay down on your back and starting with your toes, you just tense your toes, relax, tense your feet, relax, tense your lower leg, relax. Okay. So this is basically going up the body. You're checking in with every single part of your body, feeling it, sinking into it, asking how it feels, listening to your body, listening to your muscles, listening to your breathing. And it helps you to sink into the present moment, which again, lowers cortisol levels and helps you to think clearer. And it's going to help you to regulate your nervous system better and get yourself on track with navigating all of this uncertainty that you're dealing with. Last but not least, one of the best mindfulness techniques that you can use if you really want to build this confidence is walking meditation. Put on your favorite podcast, put on something you like to learn with, engage with. You can't just like space out on TikToks, right? Because you need to just be present in the moment and go out and walk, go hill walking, go walk the dog, call up your friend and go walk around downtown Disney, downtown New York, whatever it is. Go out and move and let your brain really just get into something. Just get hyper focused and centered and thinking about something other than all the change and uncertainty that's going on around you. So let's listen to this is a little bit different. This week, I went ahead and reached out to some friends and to some of my clients and asked them for some stories. Okay. I wanted stories. I said, give me your best growth mindset stories. Okay. Tell me about times in your life when you thought that was it. That was the end. You were not going to be able to overcome it. You were just standing on the edge of the cliff and there was nothing but a sea of fog in front of you. What did you do? How did you overcome it? How did you end up standing where you're at now, happier, more fulfilled, more successful? Give me your stories. So I've got 3 of them here, which I think are the perfect example of this moving forward, making it happen, doing it no matter what. And they are proof that you can do it too. So listen to these stories. I'm going to read them to you now. Thank you so much to my friends and clients who sent these in to me. You know who you are. Obviously, we'll keep everything anonymous, but let this be the proof to you that you can walk away from this episode and make it happen. First up, we have what I call the end. Okay, and this is from Shelly. And this was, Shelly is both a friend and a client who I have worked with now for a little over a year. And this is Shelly's story of how she overcame a divorce. After 30 years of marriage, my partner told me it was over. I was devastated. Our children were grown. They had left the house. I had just retired from my job and was looking at a future that I didn't quite understand. What I didn't know is that my partner understood his future, and he understood that it was without me. After settling everything, I ended up a lot worse off than I expected. Let's just say it wasn't an equal split. And at 60 years old, I found myself looking for a new job, a new place to live, and even new groups of friends. I was broken. I didn't know what I was going to do, where I was going to turn. I felt completely and totally alone and lost in the world. I was certain that I was going to have to give up. Fast forward, it's 10 years later now, and I am successfully getting ready to sell my second business. I have my dream home at 70 years old, and I am closer to my friends and my children than I have ever been before in my life. How was this possible? In short, it all came down to the words spoken to me one day by a friend who said, "Why would you give up now? Why would you stop now after all these years of working so hard to create a life for everyone else? Isn't it your turn?" She was right. So at 60 years young, I set out and I made it happen. I turned my outlook around. I turned everything around, and I started doing for myself, existing for myself, and going after all of the things I had dreamed about for so long. And now I'm standing exactly where I never imagined I could be, in a life that is both fulfilling, passionate, and exciting. Yes, at 70 years young. What an incredible story. Thank you so much, quote unquote, Shelly. You know who you are. Thank you for that story. But again, look at that. That is the perfect example of why you can't give up, because it is for you. Okay. This growth mindset, this leaping in, even when it looks like everything is gone and you have no idea what's around the corner, it's one of the most important things you can do for you, for your happiness. The next story comes from a friend of mine that we will just call Brenda. And this one's called Friendship Break. Ellie and I became best friends our freshman year of college. We were studying the same program, and we ended up having a lot of the same friends in the same friend circles. Once we got out of college, that friendship didn't stop. We got jobs in the same city, and we ended up starting families at the same time and raising them within blocks of each other. However, things changed in 2016 when Ellie got drawn into a different crowd. Suddenly, values changed, beliefs changed, and we were no longer able to communicate or connect in the ways that we used to. I was heartbroken, but unfortunately, things with Ellie just got worse and worse and worse. It got to the point where the friendship was causing me nothing but stress, nothing but heartache, and nothing but disappointment. I didn't know what to do. Eventually, I had no choice but to call it quits. After thanking her for years of friendship, thanking her for her support, and telling her I would do anything to be there for her if she ever needed it, we called it quits. We removed each other from social media, and we moved on. I was heartbroken. This person was my friend's soulmate. I thought that we would spend our lives raising our families together, but that is no longer the case. Ellie has moved to a different state, and we no longer have any connection whatsoever. It's been heartbreaking. I took it in as me. I thought I was the problem, that I was not worthy of friends, that I was not worthy of those connections, and I wanted to give up. Life got even harder for me when work changed. One of my children got sick, and I ended up divorced. What was I going to do? I craved that support, and I no longer had it. Something had to change. After I ended up moving my family for work, my son ended up starting in a new school, and he was very, very nervous. He was afraid that he wouldn't make any friends, as he had seen me struggle with my own friends. But imagine my surprise when he came home smiling from his first day at school to let me know that he had 5 new friends. "Mom," he said, "it's so easy. All you have to do is open up your heart and be nice." Wow, when they say from the mouths of babes. It was a shift for me. It was a different way of looking at things. Maybe instead of closing off my heart, of thinking that I was the problem, maybe what I needed to do was open up my heart step out into the world and take responsibility for finding that thing that I was craving so much. Maybe I was the one who needed to open up my heart and my mind to the friendship that I really needed. Instead of closing off, I leaned in, I went out, I joined a social group. I also got involved in gym and a few classes at the local gym. Within a couple of weeks, I had a few groups that I was going to coffee dates with and was enjoying doing things as a family with my children. Now, a couple of years later, I have a new best friend. We are closer than ever, and she is going to be the maid of honor in my upcoming wedding. Again, that is one that really resonates with me, and I know that that's resonating with a lot of you because there's a lot of uncertainty in friendships and relationships, and we have a tendency as survivors to kind of underestimate ourselves, to close ourselves off, and to think, well, that didn't work. But again, this is where that growth mindset, that's where that uncertainty sinks in. You just have to open up and lean in. All right, so I was going to share a third story for you here, guys, but it looks like we are running out of time, so we are going to have to wrap it up. But big stuff, right? A lot of information. There's a lot of juicy goodness for you to take away here, for you to ingest, for you to start bringing into your life right now, today, as soon as you stop listening to this episode. You can go out there, you can change your mindset, you can start giving yourself positive reinforcement where it comes to uncertainty and change. Right? You can learn to recalibrate the way you see that process, that uncomfortable process of transformation. Above all, you need to remember that uncertainty, above everything else, right? That scariness of uncertainty, it is an invitation for growth. It's an opportunity for you to learn more about yourself, more about what you want, more about who you have the potential to be. So lean in. Embrace your own resilience. Face uncertainties with the confidence of knowing you will absolutely survive this. You will survive this and you will be stronger on the other side. Thank you so much for listening. I really do hope you got something good from this episode. I hope that this has motivated you and made you feel better about whatever uncertainty that you are facing in your life. Thank you so much for listening, for being here, for making this podcast possible. I want to know what you think about it as well. So if you loved this episode, please head over to Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star review, tell them what you loved. It helps other people find this podcast and it helps me do what I do. So leave some feedback, leave comments. And if you've got any suggestions for future episodes, also would love to know. I want to know what you guys want to listen to. Now, quick housekeeping before I let you guys go. I've been getting a lot of questions about Black Friday. So here's what you need to know. This Black Friday, I have a couple of offers, okay? I do have a couple of special offers. So if you want to take advantage, if you've been kind of on the fence, uncertain about working with me, about, what your next steps are, how you're going to make it happen for yourself, how you're going to make that better relationship, how you're finally going to find mental and emotional peace, regulate your nervous system. This Black Friday, you're going to want to make sure that you've got all eyes on me, because I have a couple of good things for you. Number one, my new interactive printable workbook, Rooted in Reality, a practical guide for survivors of trauma and emotional upset, will be going live on Black Friday with a special $200 off discount price, okay? I'm giving you guys $200 off this one-of-a-kind workbook that's got everything. It's going to help you figure out your baselines, build a neuroplastic plan for yourself, and get the relationships and the stability that you crave, okay? So this is a 60-plus page workbook. It also comes with 5 videos from me. So you are going to want to make sure that you are signed up and ready to go on Black Friday for the Rooted in Reality workbook. So head over to therealebjohnson.com, go to articles, and you'll find more information on it there. Now that is the workbook that will be on sale on Black Friday at a special $200 off introductory price. Now, for those who have been interested in coaching, who have been on the fence, who have been uncertain, now is your chance to take advantage of an exclusive Black Friday offer for my one-on-one private 2-month coaching program. Now, what is it? Those who apply this Black Friday for my 2-month private coaching program are going to be getting some extra goodness thrown into their 2 months. What am I talking about? Number one, if you sign up, if you apply on Black Friday and you are accepted into my program, then you will be getting, as a free upgrade, my Better Brain Plan. Okay, my Better Brain Plan, which is a customized total nervous system recalibration program for you, which includes everything from the diet, the supplements, the exercise, the cognitive reappraisal, the somatics. It is an entire strategy that you can walk away with, print, put it on your wall, put it on your refrigerator, and start following for optimal nervous system health, which leads to what? Optimal mental and emotional health. But that's not all. Those who apply this Black Friday and who are accepted into my 2024 program will also be getting an additional free 1-hour session along with their 2-month package. Okay. So what is this? This is an additional 1-hour development session that you basically get to use as a get out of jail free card. After we finish our time together, you can hold on to this session and come back to me in a couple weeks, a couple months, whatever it is, sit down and let's recalibrate. Let's get clear. Let's get you back on track. This is something most other coaches don't offer, right? Most other coaches just, that's it. You gave me your money, get out. Well, not for those who sign up with me and join my one-on-one program. I don't leave you in the lurch. You're going to get this free additional 9th session, and you're also going to get a better brain plan and some other juicy goodies, which I'm not going to tell you about now. So if you want that, you're going to have to head over to therealebjohnson.com, click on working with me, and make sure you apply before the end of the day on Black Friday. Okay. Before midnight on Black Friday, 11:59 p.m. on Black Friday. Okay. After that, you miss the deal. You don't get the 9th session and you don't get the customized Better Brain Plan with your program. So if you are thinking about working with me one-on-one in 2024, now's your chance. Make sure you head over there and apply. Those are my 2 Black Friday offers. So if you're interested in either one of those, the workbook, okay, this Rooted in Reality workbook, or these one-on-one coaching goodies, then make sure you head over to therealebjohnson.com for more information. And that's it. Held you guys hostage long enough. Thank you again so much for listening. I hope you've loved it. I hope you learned something. I hope you feel inspired. And I hope most of all that you're going to go make some positive and practical changes in your life. Again, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram and Medium for daily updates, goodies, advice, guides, you name it, I've got it. Until then, keep your heads up, keep your eyes on the stars, and keep moving forward. Bye-bye.